UFC heavyweight Alistair Overeem. All right, Alistair, let's get right into it. You know what? I was actually want to start this in a bit of a different way. I know we'll talk about your fight with Aleksei Oleinik coming up here on the 20th of April. But you know what's funny is you've been around a really long time in MMA. You've seen a lot. What do you make of this move to streaming that all the promoters are doing? Do you like it or not?
I don't have an opinion of that. Actually, now that we're talking about, streaming is the next level, right? You as a promoter, you want your content to be available to everybody. Everybody has a handheld. So I guess it's just the next step, evolution.
You don't put too much mind into it, even because you're a guy who's like you're not in inconsequential places. You're either on big cards or main eventing, but I suppose it's not something you really terribly pay a lot of mind to.
No, I'm not too busy with that stuff. I've really just been focused on training camp and the stuff that matters for me. And yeah, if it's streamed on the device or not, yeah, that's like small details to me.
Fair enough. All right, how's Colorado? I know you're out there with Elevation Fight Team. How's it going this time around?
Actually liking it a lot. Liking the state, liking the people. Yeah, lots to do, a lot of restaurants. The team has been absolutely amazing, Team Elevation. So I'm very happy that I joined. I'm developing every day into a better, mixed martial artist, better fighter. And just very anxious to showcase my new skills, right? The fight is coming up. It's 13 days away.
You know what's interesting, Alistair? You're a guy, as I mentioned before, you've been around, you've seen a lot, you've trained in a lot of places too. You've gotten so many looks, you've seen really the best that MMA has had to offer in terms of a training and coaching environment. Could you have imagined yourself had you stayed in like one or two places?
If I stayed in one or two places, I'd probably be retired by now.
Why is
Because,
that?
as a fighter, you can get compromised. That's not for everybody, but I have been compromised a couple times in my career. And to me, it was do or die time. I had to make changes. Sometimes I didn't want to make changes, but I still had to make changes if I wanted to continue my career. Let's for instance go back to my last loss to Curtis Blaydes. Actually, that was two in a row because I had lost to Francis and I lost to Curtis. And I was trailing out of Jackson's. The chemistry there, we had a good chemistry, but it was just finished. And to me, I still want to fight. So you're going to keep doing something that doesn't work for you, or you're going to make changes and figure it out again. And to me, I had to do that. I had to figure it out again. I still felt I could do that. Back then, I was 37. I'm 38 years old now. But I felt like I can still do it. I need to do it.
Is there any there must be a challenge between going team to team. Like the good side must be all the great training partners, all the great looks, all the great coaches, right? All the best practices that you get to learn. On the other hand, it must be hard to like learn how to meet all these new people all the time. Like what are some of the challenges of that?
Well, okay, so let's not forget I've been training for 26 years, right? Competing
long
for 22
time.
years. My first fight was 1997. So it's to me that's obvious. You're going to have at least a couple of different camps. Okay, well, back in the days it was there was another issue. You would go for kickboxing to this gym, you would go for grappling to that gym, you go for wrestling to this gym. So it would be different gyms anyway. Now it's more all in one house. But still, at Jackson's they have everything. They have grappling, they have striking, they have. But still, and you just mentioned, okay, when you go to a new team, you're going to have to say goodbye to your old team. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's always a bad thing. Sometimes when the chemistry is done and when there's no clear direction, but there is a direction that you want to fight, but there's no clear direction. There's not really good communication. It is a good thing that you change. In my 26 years, change has actually always been a great thing. Actually, the only place that was not a good change was when I went to the Black Series. That was truly terrible, and it showed. And I made changes out of there, and it went better to Jackson's MMA. So that chemistry was finished because it's like every relationship. In relationships, things chemistry can go down, right? It's not always a perfect marriage forever, unfortunately. Because in the past, I've also had to say goodbye to coaches that I was perfectly okay with, but I had to do it because I want to fight. I want to make the most of my career. And I basically always lived by that phrase. I want to make the most of my career. And sometimes you're going to have to say goodbye to people, to groups, to teams, for that goal.
Yeah, that sounds right. Just sort of piggybacking on that, you're a guy, as you well know, who's seen the world, seen all the best MMA gyms. It's less of an issue now, but like from a Brazilian culture in the jiu-jitsu world, if you change teams, they would call you a crianche or like a traitor, and some of that bled into MMA. But that seems like geographical, right? Because you guys out of Europe, it doesn't seem like as much of a big deal. Maybe that's more of a South American kind of thing, where people change teams and it's the end of the world.
Yeah, but even in Brazil, you go there and you look at what happened to Brazilian top team in the shoot box, right? You had Vanderlei Silva leaving shoot box, Shogun leaving shoot box, coming to the States. Also Brazilian top team, Big Knock. Why did those fighters leave? Why were they traders? Well, there's news out there that the teams were stealing and there was just unfair practices. So, of course, as an athlete, it happened to me with Golden Glory. Of course, you're going to leave. You're not going to stay in that situation when somebody's going to take advantage of you. So, yeah, for every case, a little bit different. It is what it is. It's development, it's life. You learn through everything that happens as well, right? And in the end, you're going to get exactly what you deserve, I believe.
Now, what's interesting, as you mentioned, an Elevation Fight team, a great team. You had just fought Curtis Blaydes. Now you rebounded since then. But I'm wondering what your relationship is like with Curtis and how that has been since you began training with him.
Yeah, so we were actually talking a little bit before we fought, actually. I just stepped up to him after his Mark Hunt fight, and I reached out, hey, shall we go training together one time? Because I was actually in a lack of sparring partners at Jackson's. And he responded positive. Yeah, let's read out. We exchanged numbers. So we start texting, but then our fight got announced and we stopped texting. Then the fight happened. I lost. I just reached out to him again. Hey, I'm going to be in Denver in 2 weeks. Shall I come by? And he's really very positive, very open. Yeah, come to the gym. He texted me the address, the time. And yeah, it's. I mean, he's a great fighter. He's a great athlete. He's a great guy as well. I really actually like him. I've trained in my 26 years with a lot of professionals, a lot of champions, a lot of strong fighters. And Curtis is one of my favorites. No ego whatsoever. We don't discuss our fight. We lift each other up to the better level. And yes, it's great to be part of the team and great to help him on his journey to greatness.
Let's talk about your upcoming fight. You were supposed to take on Alexander Volkov. He gets yanked, and now you're going to face Aleksei Oleinik. Any thoughts about the opponent change?
Well, so Aleksei and I we have a little bit of a history. We're actually okay together. We're friends. I like him a lot. I helped him on his Crow Cup fight several years ago, 2013, and then he helped me on the Frank Mir fight. And then he signed with UFC. So I kind of knew somewhere that we might end up fighting together. To me, it's not a problem. Because we're not teammates, and it's been years ago that we helped each other, so it's fine. I kind of know what to expect. He's a tough veteran fighter. He's got sneaky submission game. It's fine. He's ranked number 10, I think, with 11 or 9.
Let me verify that. He is ranked 9. He is ranked 9.
He's ranked number 9. But I have a question. What happened to Volkov? Do you know what happened?
I don't, and there's always a lot of rumors that are being spread, and I don't want
What are the
rumors? Look, anytime someone is in a main event and then gets out of a main event, or in a UFC fight and gets out of a UFC fight, obviously everybody and their brother is going to say it's due to a USADA violation, but I'm not sure that has been confirmed by USADA at this point.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? I might be wrong about that. Here is the official UFC statement, if I can pull it up here. The official UFC statement is as follows. I'll pull this up. Due to health issues, Alexander Volkov has been forced to withdraw from his bout against Alistair Overeem. So they put it up to health issues, and I think there have been other unconfirmed reports from Russian sites that have said it was due to an anti-doping violation. So it's a little bit murky at this juncture.
Okay. Okay, let's let that be there.
Yeah, fair enough. Oleinik's game. You know, he's got this Ezekiel choke, which is kind of funny, although he did beat Mark Hunt without it, with a different kind of win. Um, at this point, you've seen so many looks, right? Like, you don't want to take a guy lightly, but I can't imagine you feel, I don't know, overly threatened by it.
Well, okay, so the only thing is that Volkov is an entirely different opponent than Aleksei Oleinik. So that's the only thing. But you know what? I had this when they threw me in the K1 fight. I was actually training for a rematch with Krokop, and then Krokop, something happened with him. He withdrew, and then they came with the Badr fight. Listen, on the 3 weeks notice. Yeah, Krokop fight's not happening, but you can fight Badr in the K1. And I'm at this phase right now. I'm in a great shape. I feel ready. I want to fight. I want to kick ass, and it is what it is. I'm ready, so it doesn't really matter.
What is
We're
a win?
go in there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off, Alistair. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I'm just ready to kick ass. So it doesn't matter who, what, when, where. We're going to get it on.
Aside from being ready, though, from your judgment, is there a way to assess what the win gets you? Your previous opponent was ranked 6th. This one's 9th. Then again, you put together wins in the heavyweight division. You never know what could happen. From your vantage point, what do you see as the ultimate benefit of a win here?
Well, a win is a win. Is a win is a win. And then after, we'll have to figure out what's next, right? You just need to keep stacking those wins, and then that'll get you the title. I'm not really... I don't really look at the rankings. I'm just focused on the guy ahead. So he's ranked 9th. That's it is what it is. It's whatever. What is my rank? I'm 6 and 9. So that's kind of okay.
Yeah, I think you're sitting at 7 at the moment.
7.
Yeah. Still, good position to be in.
Yeah, so 7 and 9 is the same one.
Yeah, so you're going to be 39 in May. 2019 is a big year for you. If you put this one together, you'll have back-to-back wins. What do you hope to get out of this calendar year? If I spoke to you on January 1, 2020, where do you want to be at that position?
So I would like to fight actually twice this year. So again, September, then end of the year, and then win all my fights, obviously, right?
Right.
So when you speak to me January 2020, we're going to be very happy because we're winning all our fights and we're back in the winning column and in title contention.
Is that what you need? You need what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3 more wins. Is that the idea?
I don't know, but I'm just fighting and winning. That's my goal.
What do you make of the top of the division? It's a weird moment right now, right? Because you got the champ who's out. You thought Kane would come back and make some noise. Then he loses to Francis. Stipe is kind of sitting out. And it's just not clear what's happening at the top. What do you make of it?
I don't make a lot of it because, again, rankings are rankings. You gotta see what happens. Brock, is he coming back? It's also a weird situation. Coming back, fight for a title after what happened there. Kane, yeah. Is Kane even still fighting? Is he still... I heard something he's going to do WWE or something.
He did a Mexican professional wrestling league pretty recently. His coach says he's still going to come back, but against who and against when? I don't know.
Didn't look good in his last fight, with all due respect. Didn't look good. Didn't look on the diet. Yeah, I don't know. What is his ranking?
Kane right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
His ranking right now, as we speak, is 8. He is 1 below you.
Okay. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
What do you make of?
I just focus on my training, on making sure that everything around me is good.
No doubt about it.
Just
of Brock, because you're a guy who fought him, you beat him. It was good for your career, and he's still kind of floating out there in the ether. I'll say, as a media guy, Alistair, I'm kind of torn. On the one hand, I get it, especially Daniel looking for a big payday. Okay, but it's like I'm just looking for the top of these divisions to move, and you got something going on at lightweight too, where you just can't get the top guys in motion. I don't know, create some problems,
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion about the whole Brock thing. I mean, it's obvious that he, is special, right? Because it's Brock this, Brock that, Brock this, Brock that. But to me, it's nothing special. To me, it's a big guy, it's a huge fan base. That's it. That's a speciality about it. Of course, I'll be watching Cormier and Brock when they fight, but am I overly enthusiastic about it? Absolutely not. I wouldn't buy a ticket for that fight.
Yeah.
But then again, I would watch it. I mean, it is going to be, you know what? You never know. You never know what's going to happen in that fight.
Certainly don't. He is huge, as you mentioned. At 39 years old, you have had amazing career longevity, Alistair. And as I mentioned, you've seen it all, really, MMA through its most important evolutions. And I suspect the answer to this question is going to be, as long as you're feeling good, the answer is you'll just keep competing. But have you thought about, look, I think it is fair to say you're probably closer to the end of your career than the beginning. You've been fighting for 20 plus years. Have you thought about what the next chapter is?
Luke, I plan to fight another 20 years.
Is that right? That's a lot of fighting, Alistair.
I'm halfway in. Actually, it's less fighting because back in the day, it was like 6 fights a year, right? Every 2 months. And I even have some crazy periods, 2009, 2010, I did 6 fights in 3 months time span. So now it's like 2, 3 fights a year, or the rest you're kind of staying healthy, getting better. Yeah. I don't know. It is the last part of my career. It's probably going to be another 2 years, 3 years max. What is that? 5, 6, 7 fights, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights, and then I'm gonna nice and retire, I guess. And do other stuff.
But you're feeling pretty good, though, right?
I'm 100% healthy, but I have to say that I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot to be healthy, to stay healthy. So it's a lot is nutrition, a lot is massage. I have my orthodontic therapist from Holland, who's special, keeps me going. So I do a lot of dry needling, which is also an amazing method, new method, since years of doing that. So I'm doing a lot on recovery, and if I compare that to my early 20s, I didn't really have to do a lot of recovery back then, but now I do. And as long as you do recovery, I'm great. I can make my 10, 15 hours a week training, like I am early 20s. So that is kind of like the thing, right? If you're doing recovery, if you're putting in the work, yeah, you'll keep going.
And then I guess we'll end on this, and I appreciate your time, Alistair. One thing that I've noticed, you had JDS have this big resurgence this past year, this last few fights. I have noticed that a lot of guys at heavyweight will have moments in their career where they surge and then they fall, but then they surge again, and then they'll fall again, and then they surge again. So you tell me, what is it about heavyweight where guys can have these like second or third acts where people will write them off and then they come surging right back?
Well, JDS is a warrior, man. He's been fighting for a long time now. And in your career, of course, you're going to have certain circumstances working against you at some point in your life, and you go through it, and then you figure it out, and you come back. You get back on the winning column. But he's had tough battles, man. His battles with Kane were amazing, right? He came back from that, so he's been coming back a couple of times. I think when a fighter keeps coming back, that tells something about their character, right? They just, I guess he's stubborn, just like me. We love to fight game, and we're stubborn. We don't want to give up.
Fair enough. All right, well, we can't wait for it. UFC on ESPN +7. This will be April 20th in Saint Petersburg, Russia, when you take on Aleksei Oleinik in the main event. Alistair, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to your next fight.